Welcome to the inaugural Black Diamond podcast, and I'm your host, Selvan Katukaran. I have my co-hosts,
Greg Beaton, and my co-host,
Ashwin Mandela.
and we have our special guest today.
That's good. It's a lot of co-hosts you guys have. So I am Randy Werder. I'm the CEO of Black Diamond Advisory, co-founder. I'm really excited to be here.
So Randy, Black Diamond is a very known name in the OneStream space to do the consulting part of it. So can you explain to the audience what we really do?
From a consulting perspective,
From a consulting perspective.
we make clients happy. That's it. When we started the firm, we wanted to take a different approach to a consulting firm. So I've been a part of many different firms, and some good, some bad, some things you learn. When we started it, we wanted to focus on, what we thought was really efficient, make people happy, the good culture, and so forth. So what do we really do as consultants? What does that mean? What I found is no matter what the name is or what logo you have or wherever, it doesn't matter. What matters is the actual people on the projects and the people in the company. That's the reason that their success has nothing to do with where you're at. It's the collection of people you get. So we were very careful in bringing in the experts only, the people that would collaborate, really create a culture of the all tides rise together. So as a consultant, what we actually do here is work together to deliver solutions, solve business problems, and really help our customers move from what I like to jokingly refer to as 1990s way of doing things to 2024. And do it in a nice way where they're happy, we're happy, it's a good experience. And when you get good people in, it's really a no-brainer on how it's going to turn out. So that's what we do here is solve business problems and work with our clients and our customers to be able to help them solve it and enjoy that journey, which sometimes can be very long. That's kind of what we do in a nutshell.
It's interesting when you said that the consulting start. Yesterday when we were at the expo, we talked to a couple of other vendors, and there are firms who do consulting with other vendors as well, not just OneStream. But Black Diamond, we just do only OneStream. Is that a conscious decision that you guys took when you started the firm?
So Carl Yost and myself, when we sat down, and Damon, we started BDA, we had to make a decision. Did we want to be in different competing technologies? Damon and myself were very adamant that was not going to happen. We came from a former company that did Oracle and did OneStream under the same umbrella. It did not work at all. There was always the competing interests, and there was always some sort of layer of, well, what's the best fit for the customer? I don't know, maybe we're going to go this way, maybe this way. The consultants, it drove them crazy because they were on one project with one technology. They have to put it down, pick up another project with another technology, drove them crazy. So we were adamant that we wanted to pick one stream. That was what we picked, one solution, and go with that only. Now, that was one of the factors in the decision. The other one is when you're a service provider, like OneStream, they also don't like working with partners that have conflicting technology agnostic approaches. It's like, yes, we like you OneStream, but we also like Oracle, and we also like Tagetik, or we also like Anaplan. We'll see what the best fit is. OneStream doesn't like that. So when we started, we're like, well, we only do OneStream. That's all we do. So there's never a conflict of interest, ever.
Okay.
And so we were the only firm for a very long time that did only OneStream. In fact, I think there's only 3 out of 200 or so that still only do OneStream only.
Okay.
So that was a very conscious decision. It actually worked out very well.
Speaking of working with OneStream, we saw in the keynote today that in Partner Place, we're releasing the accordion rolling forecast. Could you tell me a little bit more about that?
So, yes, we'd love to tell you about the accordion rolling forecast. When we started the firm, again, Damon and myself, in this particular case, had worked together for many years, probably 15 years we go back. And even in the early days, Damon was very technical. I was very functional. My background's FP&A. Worked for various companies as a finance director, and Damon's been in every technical thing that you could think of. So that together, what we wanted to do was create something very technical, logically advanced that was eye-pleasing to the end user and FP&A user. So what we did was created this accordion forecast that was exactly what an FP&A person would want. And then Damon would say to me very, and Joe said, that'll never work. So Damon, of course, can figure anything out. So I'm like, this is what the FP&A user wants. And Damon's like, no. But he ended up solving it. And it's a great solution for, like I said, the 1990s where the whole forecast, rest of year forecast. And then it becomes this rolling forecast that it evolved to, which was great, but it just carried 12 months out, and it really left a lot to be desired on the benefit. And then we took that rolling forecast, turned it into an accordion rolling forecast, which means you're always doing the rest of the year and out 12 months. Good analytics. It allows you to really connect a dynamic model from one change in the forecast through the rest of the year, the next year, your budget, and then eventually connect to the long range plan. So Damon and I would sit down and he's like, well, why is this important? Okay. Like, well, as an FP&A user, we're very impatient. He's like, well, yes, that is true. When I make a change in the forecast, I want to see the impact to the bottom line. I want to see it across the time periods. I want to see it across the P&L. And I want to see it now. I don't want to go get coffee. I don't want to go down the hall. I don't want to wait overnight. I want to see it now. And I want to see it through my dynamic model. And that pretty much was the basis of it. And that's why the speed and the way it was designed was very important. So I can play with the drivers, the percentages, the modeling. I can play with it and see, if I want to increase workforce by 10%, I can change the number and see it impact the entire business very quickly. So that was kind of the history behind it and so forth.
It's an interesting topic when Greg talked about partner plays and being the partners out there on that. If you look at those slides, there are not many partners out there doing that. And we had the cohort 1 where we were one of the top 4 there. Because it's not in the consulting business to do development. There are accelerators, you've seen that happening, but Black Diamond took a conscious decision that we are going to develop products. Yes. What led you to that?
So the different stages, like you said, there's different stages. If you create something on this platform that's OneStream has gifted us, is this amazing tool to do whatever we want. You can create demo assets, which is kind of like the surface level. We can kind of smoke and mirror something to show in a sales cycle. We can do that. That's great. Second kind of tier would be your accelerators. Kind of kickstarts. We do that. We do demo assets. We do the kickstart. And then there's the third one. Most people don't do it because it's an investment, time and money to be able to create a product. So usually people will stop after 1, maybe 2, but very rarely go to 3. So we saw a lot of value in pre-packaging and creating solutions that were ready-made. So this was very successful with Salesforce and other softwares, and we thought OneStream's platform would be a great opportunity for this as well. So the long-term strategy for OneStream was exactly that. So we wanted to get ahead of that and invest in the right people and time to create product on this platform. And then Partnerplace came out. We could put those solutions out there. They could download it and run with it. So what happens in the industry is there's a big push for speed to value, time to value. There's not a lot of companies want to spend a lot of money and not see value for 2 years. It's a hard commitment to sell. I want to spend X dollars because it takes 2 years. Do you see any benefit? Not an easy sales cycle. But in a product world, I can get the speed to value much quicker. I can have a ready-made product. It can be it can be up and running, and then you can build off of that. So you see speed to value in chunks of 6 months, 3 months more, 6 months more. So you really see a company getting value, and you can go into your executive suite and say, I'm going to invest this amount, but I'm going to see value very quickly. That doesn't happen unless you have a product or something, a very, very well-developed accelerator, which is basically a product anyway. So that was the conscious decision we made, was to invest in that because we didn't think anybody else would do that. And that's really where OneStream was going. So that's what we wanted to do. And it's been pretty successful, I would say.
So Randy, you spoke a lot about the products, how BDA came about. Could you talk about the journey with the people from when you started to now, like how the journey has evolved?
It is definitely evolved. So when you start a company, it is, they call it the plateaus of growth. And somebody tells you, just like anybody gives you advice in your life, and you're like, you nod, you're like, okay. But you don't really understand it until it actually happens. So they're like, you're going to have challenges at 20 people. You have challenges at 50. And you get to 100. That's a different ball game. And this is when everything breaks. Everything at 100 people breaks. Then 120 is a new challenge. And so they would give you examples. And much to my, I did agree. And I do admit that it happened exactly as they pointed out. So everything does break at 100 people. And it's funny, is at 20 people, culture, and you're really thinking about this, and it's easy to talk to everybody. You get to 50 people, different challenges. You've got back office software, things you have to invest in. When you get to 100 people, scale comes into play. And it's a challenge to maintain, no different than a franchise. You ever have a restaurant that was a local restaurant? It was one, and it's fantastic, but then they have 3 other locations, and now you gotta be really careful when you scale. So to have that collaboration and the right group together when you get to that number is challenging, because you can't know everybody and everything, and you empower people to make the right decisions and grow the company. It's tough. We have, I think, done, in my experience, I think we've done a pretty good job of getting the right people in the company for the most part. Still very collaborative culture. In fact, sometimes it's overly collaborative when everybody asks for help. There's like 50 people respond. I'm like, well, you should be billing. What are you doing? They are fantastic. I don't think I've ever heard anybody come to me ever and say that I asked for help and no one helped me. So, but yes, it's the journey on it. That's the people piece, and to keep reinvesting. I think as you grow, you lose track of what's important. Sometimes you're so focused on other things. As we've tried to reinvest in the regional meetups or invest in some of the things we kind of let slip for a little while, and just keep investing in the people the best we can.
That brings us to the next thought about helping each other, and that's one of the great things I think about working at BDA. We have our internal COE that we help each other, and now we've gone external with the roundtable.
That's right.
Could you tell us a little bit more about that?
Yes, that's fantastic. One of my favorite things of the last few months. One of our core values is innovation, actually, which is an interesting core value. Usually, you have the standard ones, but innovation's one that I respect very much. People that are innovative. That's how you stay relevant, and I love the innovation. So the COE was the original stake in the ground. So the Center of Excellence is the concept, Knights of the Round Table. You have a certain number of people on there that have different backgrounds, all equal peers that can collaborate together at a high level to help,
And that's something others are copied successfully.
They have many, which is great. Flat, love
good.
that. And they should, and again, all tides rise. That's great. Everybody should have a COE.
Yeah.
And it's been incredibly successful. They copied it. So the next phase of that, the innovation piece, is we had come up with, and I think there was a collaboration with, the team here. I think, Shauna and Jason Carver and the rest, everybody kind of got together and said, we have the COE, we should make it external and make it available to everybody and get more people involved. And again, this is the all ties rise together. Why not do that? There's a lot of advantages to that. Administrators don't have a lot of training available to them. They don't have access to these experts. The clients love it. It's kind of in between training classes and summit or support. You kind of have this interim. And it was put in front of me as a business plan. It's a fantastic idea. So many benefits of it. And it was really well thought out. And it really, really has been successful. And I will tell you a funny story about that. So the expert at Roundtable, it's the same thing as the COE, a little different group. And it's open to the customers, our clients, and anybody that doesn't have to be BDA client. So we put it together, believed in it. It was fantastic. We did a pilot run and we had great feedback. So Shauna and Jason were monitoring it, and we came to the time where we're going to do it for real. Test is over. So we reached out to the 11 people that did it in the pilot. I'm like, it's time for real. Do you want to sign up and kind of pay for this and a very nominal fee? And no one signed up. And there was a sense of panic, and it was funny, but not funny. And what was interesting and why I get to tell the story, which I wouldn't tell if it actually ended there, was right before we were going to start it, all 11 signed up within 24 hours. Yeah. And they just all signed up immediately. Like, well, of course we would do this. They just all apparently were procrastinators. So I guess they all signed up at the very end. But it was great. And then since then, it's just continued to grow. But that innovation and that COE, external, internal, has just been something that's been something I find one of the cornerstones of our success, to be honest with you. It's been great. It's a good question. I like that one.
So I guess now that we're coming close to the end of the interview, like what do you look forward for with the new, what you've seen in the keynote, as well as like, where do you think BDA is going from here?
That's great. So I would say that I do believe deep down that the machine learning AI, the AI is going to be impactful. I've been to several conferences on that. I've spoken on it. I've done a lot of research on it. And I believe that it will be a game changer for not just OneStream, BDA, professional services in general. I think that the firm that gets ahead of that, understands and embraces it and puts it into their business is going to have a key strategic advantage. We are doing that. I am most excited about it. Most people are nervous. I'm excited because with any innovation, there's opportunity. So I am probably most excited, nervous excitement around that. And BDA is going to invest in that. I'm looking forward to OneStream potentially having a public offering and us taking advantage of that. OneStream is still expanding its market share. Mm-hmm. And I think once it gets as a household name within the office of the CFO, we're going to be able to invest and continue to grow our company, which I'm excited about. Because I think that that OneStream has proven quarter after quarter that growth is there, and just keep growing with them.
So you're doubling down on your commitment with OneStream.
Oh, I am doubling down. Not
being in Vegas. It's a big testament for.
That's right. I am definitely going to double down on the OneStream bet. I do appreciate Tom and Bob and Craig and some of the leaders of that organization have really invested hard in the AI, and they're serious. So they've made an acquisition on it. It's really, I appreciate the vision that they're bringing to that. And I think it would be a disservice to our people and our company not to share that vision and invest in that as well. So I look forward to that, seeing what we can do with it.
Interesting.
Great.
Hey, so this is it? That's it?
Final thoughts?
Thank you. Final thoughts? No, I have 3 questions each for one. Oh, no, sure. Just kidding. I do not have any questions for you. No, I want to thank you guys very much for this. This is great, and I'm excited to see what happens in the future. But I appreciate you having me on.
Well, thank you for doing this.
Yeah, for sure.
Thank you.
All right. Good.